Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Aston Rebels Coaches Show here at the IceWorks Pub. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Tom Wilms, as once again Joe Coombs joins us. Welcome back from Michigan. We talked briefly during Sunday's pregame show about the Top Prospects Tournament. Give the fans at home, again, we're all newbies here in the NAHL, so give us an idea of that experience and what goes on at that Top Prospects showcase.
Well, it's been a 3-year process, I guess you could say, where I know year one I missed, or my flight was canceled out of Texas, and I didn't get a chance to see it. But last year and this year, it's quite an ordeal. It's basically every NHL team, every college has a representative, and the players, for instance, our team we had 5 guys that played in prospects, and it goes based upon your rank, your standing within your division. So we were at the time we're in first place, so we got 5, and then 4 and 3, and then there was a couple of at-large bids because there's only 4 teams in our division. So it's basically the 20 players that the only rule is that you can't already have an NC Division I commitment. So our 5 guys, one was Vito Janssens, who's played for the young kids team, and then our 4 players were Darian Hansen, Dino Balsamo, Ryan Kuzin, and Jerry Mietnin were the 4 guys who got to go. And Dino, which congratulations to Dino as well, is already committed, which was a big opportunity for him to play in front of schools. He committed to Bentley yesterday. And then Ryan Kuzin, Jerry Mietnin, it surely looks like they'll all land on their feet. So it's just really, there's the U.S. development team there, the U17 team is there, and there's 3 games a day, 6 teams, and it's just a little showcase of. We played the South game 1, and then we played Central game 2, and it's just a great, prospect event that our league puts on. That they get a ton of exposure in front of the people they want to play for down the road, and it's really a really cool thing.
So it's mostly NCAA scouts who come out. Is there anyone from the NHL or any pro organizations?
As a matter of fact, every NHL team has a representative. There's a team in that league that is full of draft eligible players. So, for instance, off our team, Vito Janssens was eligible. Michael Underwood, Darian Hansen, Trevor McCucci, Andrew Bellant were the 4 or 5 kids eligible. So those kids are picked by NHL Central Scouting. Gavito was a player that was picked from our team. Some teams had a couple representatives depending on how many guys were on NHL Central Scouting, but they represented us very well. Gavito played very well game 1. Game 2 wasn't so. He was good, but the game was pretty lopsided. North American League team, young kids team, was pretty good, and they played the 17s at the development team, and it was pretty lopsided.
A pretty nice honor to have so many Aston Rebels chosen to do this, and especially yourself being involved as a coach instead of a spectator this time around. Certainly much more interesting to be involved than just have to watch.
Yeah, it really was. It was, the players deserved it. I mean, at the time when the team was picked was January 19th. They had to put themselves in position to get that many kids picked. It was part of where we were standing. We got 5 kids, so it was awesome. For me personally, it was an awesome opportunity. I know I'd rather sit there and coach one of the 3 games than sit there and watch all day long. But that's just a competitor in me coming out, I guess you could say. But it was fun. It really was.
Well, speaking of Balsamo and his commitment to Bentley, how involved are you as the coach of the Rebels as far as pushing them along, helping them along? Do you talk to colleges as well, or is it just him and the college? How does that work out?
It depends. Each situation is different. With Dino, I tell you the whole story. I believe how it went down. We spoke with Bentley 2 weeks ago. I called out of the blue, let them know that we had 2 or 3 guys that I thought were capable of playing at that level. Pat Murphy. No, come on. Doesn't matter his name. He was having a baby. His wife was having a baby, and he wasn't going to be able to make it, but said that they would have a representative there, and that representative happened to be the head coach. And he watched Dino play, and they took it from there. I was a little bit in the process, but quite frankly, after the original phone call, you get pretty removed from it when it becomes about, I think that there's a big misconception out there that, and this is nothing against, but very few players today get 100% scholarship. Most players are a percentage where they get 2 for 4, 3 for 4, or the 80% or 35%. It just depends. And once it gets down to what they get, we really, as coaches, take a back seat. That becomes personal between the school and the parents and that kind of stuff. So we're proud of Dino. I've had Dino 2 years, and I'm really happy to see us get another Division I commitment. We have some other commitments that are Division III stuff, which I'm just as proud for them as I am for Dino. But it's always nice. These kids have worked an awful long time to try to be Division I hockey players, and Dino's going to find that he's going to have an opportunity to do just that.
At the end of the day, that is a great recruiting tool to get players to come here to the Aston Rebels, saying, look, these guys get the right commitments. Not necessarily we're going to push you to Division I. No, we're going to find the right match for you. If you're a Division I player, you'll go there. If you're a Division III player, nothing personal. We're not going to push you to Division I just to make our numbers look better. We're going to get the right fit for you.
I've been doing this. This is 15 years, and I've seen way too many kids go someplace they shouldn't go. And these kids are hockey players. Unfortunately, most of them are hockey players first. Academics should be first, but they're not sometimes. And Dino's a perfect example of that, of understanding. Hey, I can go to this school and maybe not play very much, or I can go here and play all the time. And that's what I think part of my job is to get these guys to understand the opportunity at hand. And we're surely going to have some more. We're happy for each and every one of them when they get it. That's why they're playing junior hockey. It's that step in between, and Dino's a perfect example of all that.
Well, you get back from Michigan, and, you have the home and home against New Jersey, and it doesn't go according to plan. First game this past Saturday in New Jersey, a 2-1 shootout loss. It's one of the few times the Rebels have been outshot. A little bit surprised when I saw that stat.
Well, me too. We weren't good. I thought that Trevor McCucci, I thought he did everything but score a goal. I thought he played extremely well. I just didn't think it was our finest performance. I felt like it should have been better. We only had, 4 guys. Darian Hansen didn't play. And he was the one kid that was at Prospects. So we had 4 guys that, we traveled all day Wednesday to get back. I gave them Thursday off again. So they only had 1 day of practice, which was only, if I can remember fondly, it was only about 55 minutes long. So it wasn't overly taxing practice. So I thought we should surely be ready to go, especially for the situation we were in with, battling for first place. And I was pretty disappointed with the effort. I thought Trevor was fantastic, and then we even get up 2-0 in the shootout and find a way to lose that too. You say it wasn't our night, but at the end, I surely thought we deserved, we needed more from our players. And then Sunday night, I thought we worked extremely hard. I was not disappointed with the loss. I was a little disappointed with giving up 2 goals on 13 shots, but I thought their goaltender played really well. But overall, very proud of the effort that the players put forth on Sunday.
Going back to that first game, Eric Carrera scored the lone goal to force overtime. Very positive pickup. 5 games, already 2 goals and an assist, so it must feel good to get him in the mix very quickly.
Well, we've allowed him, we've given him the opportunity to hopefully succeed. He's playing in a top 6 role and seeing power play time, and I know that's such a results-driven business, whether it be wins and losses or points for these players, and Eric's been a real positive. He's a great kid. I really enjoy having him on our team. I think the players do as well. He doesn't bring quite the life that Connor Wood did. I surely don't hear Eric Carrera in the locker room every day like I heard Woody, but he's a great addition, and we're lucky to have him.
One last thought before we hit the break. One thing that I noticed over the past weekend was the lack of penalties on both sides, and one thing that the Rebels do very well is not only the power play but the penalty kill. Is that something that needs to be fixed? Maybe just obviously not do anything to get yourself into penalty trouble, but to try to draw some more penalties and get that top-rated power play going.
Well, we were taking too many. We were
absolutely,
taking
yes.
20. I think we were taking 22 minutes, 22.2 minutes a game. I think was our average. That's basically a period, and it's more than a period shorthanded, and we had to nullify it. And as much as quite frankly, I love Connor Wood, and he's a dear player to me and a dear person. We've gone down 5 minutes just by him being gone. I'm not blaming it on him. That's not what I'm saying. But we just could not continue to kill, 7 minors, 8 minors in a game. I mean, statistics and, percentages is it's going to go in your net when you get that. You can get 3, you get 4. You got a chance to kill those 3 or 4. But you're getting 7, 8. The one's going to go in your net. And, that's just not, I like physical hockey. I'm a big fan of it. But at the end of the day, they got to be penalties worthwhile. And I really felt we were taking too many. I thought that Sunday night, that we played hard and still found a way to stay out of the box. And, there's going to be some refereeing changes, too. They grow as we grow. They're young core, and, they seem to, and with every league, as they get to know the officials and get to know what's expected, that things sort of tendency to drop as the year goes along. So that's part of it, too. I'd sure like to have some more power play time, but at the same time, we do need to get going on that side of it. We just need to out-execute the other team, and right now we're not getting a ton of opportunities there, but at the same time, when we do get them, we got to make them count.
And for the most part this season, you have taken care of business 5-on-5, probably the best team in the division as far as 5-on-5 play. It's just been a little bit of a downturn against New Jersey. Not exactly out of it right now with being 4 points back, but you'll certainly.
Well, I think we play them 10 more times, so I'm not too concerned with the 4 points. That's not my concern at all. We're going to have plenty of time. I know we have them. We have them 5 more times, at least 5. Because I know
top of my head, yes.
Yeah, at least 5. So the games mean something. And at the end of the day, I'd love to have an East Division crown for Philadelphia and our fans and Aston and all that. But at the end of the day, I don't care. At the end of the day is I want the big trophy, and there's lots of different ways, I guess you could say, to skin a cat. And whether we end up first right now, I want to make sure we're first when it matters, and that's 2.5 months away from now. So, I'd gladly finish second place for a Robertson Cup. I can tell you that.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for the first portion of our program. We'll have you back at the end. We'll talk about the upcoming series in Johnstown.
Sure. Look forward to it.
So thanks so much. When we come back, we have 2 players this time around. Dean Balsamo and Andrew Bellant will join us for the Players Spotlight. So stick around for that one. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the Aston Rebels Coaches Show here at IceWorks. Pizza Company at 600 Convent Road in Aston for great pizza, cheesesteaks, hoagies, wings, sandwiches, stromboli, calzones, and more. Call 610-558-9292 for delivery or visit astonpizzacompany.com. Choice Clean Gear is the professional choice for cleaning of all types and brands of sports equipment. We use a patented, fully engineered cleaning system in our state-of-the-art facility that completely washes and sanitizes without damaging equipment like many front-loading wash systems. Best of all, we guarantee to have your equipment cleaned and on the way back to you in less than 72 hours. Visit cleanhockeygear.com today for more information. Citizens Bank delivers a broad range of financial services to over 5 million individuals, companies, not-for-profits, and institutions. Make sure you visit the Aston Giant branch on Concord Road for all of your financial services needs. All saves by an Aston Rebels goaltender are brought to you by the Mike Costanzo Farmers Insurance Agency, where he can save you money on auto and home insurance. Just go to farmersagent.com/mcostanzo.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Since 1984, Delaware Express has offered full-service ground transportation services for business and leisure travel via airport shuttle, town car, motor coach, van, sedan, and limousine. A member of the Go Airport Shuttle Network with more than 100 dedicated drivers supported by professional dispatch, safety, customer service, and maintenance teams. Delaware Express has grown to be the largest and most trusted ground transportation provider in the area. Visit www.delex.com www.dellexpress.com for more information. The Dragon Box is a smart TV box that streams in HD with no monthly fees or contracts. It will give you access to thousands of movies, TV, live sports, boxing, UFC events, and 3D movies, all in HD. Visit www.thedragonbox.com today. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are live from the IceWorks Pub here in Aston, Pennsylvania for the Aston Rebels Coaches Show. For the Player Spotlight, we figured we'd double our pleasure as we have Dean Balsamo and Andrew Ballett. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We'll start off with Dean. Well, congratulations committing to Bentley University. Before this week, I had never heard of it. But what went into your decision to head to Bentley? And, well, we'll start with that. What went into that decision?
It's just a really good school and it's a good hockey program, so it was easy.
Now, what kind of, are you looking at the academics, of course, as well? I mean, we were talking with Coach Coombs about placing guys in the right places where you're going to play a lot and you're also going to get a good education.
Yeah, my parents definitely want me to do well in school, so it's the right place to be.
Now, are there any other suitors, any other schools you were kind of thinking about, or would that one really just step up?
There was a few, but that one definitely stepped up.
And jumping all the way up to Division I has to be pretty cool. You get to play against guys who, well, including yourself, potentially former or future NHLers.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the case, but I got 4 years, so got to make the best of every year.
Now, both of you guys are from Michigan. Who'd you root for in the NHL? Got to be the Red Wings, right?
Yep. Yeah, right. Yep.
That's a pretty simple decision there. Excuse me. Andrew, you coming from Linden, Michigan, started off with the Flint Junior Generals of the NA3. Next season, you had a great year with the Michigan Warriors at the U18 level, 41 points in 20 games. When you have a season like that, at a pretty good level, you start to think, hey, this hockey thing, maybe you might ticket to bigger things in the future. I don't know if you immediately think NHL, but you think, well, maybe I can go to college. This is my tickets there. Is that something that you think about, or you just keep on playing?
I mean, last year it was pretty easy because I went from juniors to it was kind of a crappy AAA league, so it's pretty easy and natural. This year definitely it's starting to kick in that I can go pretty far in hockey. So.
Well, you started this year with the Austin Bruins here in the NAHL. You play 3 games. You're settling into Texas. You have a home. You have a place to stay. And next thing you know, you moved here to Philadelphia and the Aston Rebels. How did that come as a surprise just so early in the season?
It came as a surprise to me because they told me a lot of stuff. But I was pretty upset at first, and then I got here and I got comfortable with all the guys. So, I mean, I love it here, and I think I fit in better. So it was better in the long run. At the end of the day, it'll work out for you, we all hope. As we talked to Dean Balsamo, you're from Sterling Heights, Michigan. You started off in the NHL with Rio Grande Valley. 2 games at the Killer Bees, then moved on to the U18 level. Kind of bounced back and forth, I suppose. The Oakland Junior Grizzlies. Big difference between suburban Detroit and the Mexican border, I'm sure.
I mean, the weather, but it's definitely different. I mean, hockey's not really big down there, and it's pretty big where we live, so it was definitely a culture shock.
Well, from what I was told, the Rio Grande Valley got some decent crowds, though. I mean, people came out.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that came out, which was cool.
It's especially interesting considering the main sport down there, I'm sure, is in the Texas part of things is football.
Yeah,
and any fans coming up from Mexico, they're probably big soccer fans.
Yeah.
So that combination was probably great for fans down there. Okay, cool. We got the hitting of football, plus we got the fast moving and the goal scoring. Mm-hmm. Well, more goal scoring in hockey than soccer, of course, but that kind of action. It must have been very interesting to have that combination of fans there for the Killer Bees.
Yeah, it was definitely different, but it was a cool experience.
Now, last year you spent the entire year in Texas. Solid full season, 23 points in 56 games. Talk about that experience last year, playing a full year in the NA.
It was my first year, so I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, experience definitely helps, but I feel I was able to know what to prepare for this season, and it definitely helped me, I believe, grow as a player.
Now the team moves to Aston, so we said the same thing to him. How did it feel to go? Okay, I was playing in Texas. Now I got to go to Philadelphia. What was that transition like for you?
At first, I mean, I was pretty upset. A lot of the guys were, because we loved it down there and the weather was nice. That was probably the best part, to be honest. But here, a lot of people know hockey, and it's more hockey around here than South Texas. So I like the move now.
It had to be an honor to be chosen for that top prospect showcase this past weekend. Was that showcase a big part of your being discovered by Bentley? They saw you there and said, wow, this is something we
Yeah,
can work
I've
with.
never spoke to him until the showcase, and then I've talked to him every day since. So the showcase definitely helped.
Now, we were talking with Coach Coombs about the penalty situation with the team earlier in the year. A lot of penalties having to be killed, but basically a period of game, which is not the way to play hockey.
No.
But recently it's gotten a whole lot better. The discipline of this team was an issue early on, and the way Coach Coombs handled it in some situations was very interesting when it came to, okay, you just drew a penalty, yeah, now you're going straight to the locker room. Now, be honest, he's probably going to listen to this a little later. Okay, I'm going to back off of everything now, or am I just going to be smarter about it?
No, it's more of I think just taking a dumb penalty, and then he'll send you a locker room because you're not helping the team. But if it's not a dumb penalty, you don't really have to worry about it, so it's not usually the case, but it happens sometimes.
Now, you've been traded, so you understand the trades are part of the experience here in the NAHL. Players come and go. We also talked briefly about Connor Wood, and I know that you're pretty tight with him, Dean. That had to be a pretty big effect in the locker room as far as losing a guy like that. I mean, he's one of the first guys I met. I mean,
Yeah.
he came right up to me and shook my hand, and he had no idea who the heck I was.
He's definitely someone you notice being in the room, so it's different without him here, but
Yeah, huge energy guy.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's part of a business, and I mean,
It's
overall,
funny
it
that you don't
helped our
think
team,
about that
so.
in junior hockey, though. That's being part of it, and the business of the game. But it's a good. It was a good move for him. So he's played well down in Texas so far in Odessa, and then bringing in who the Rebels have brought in over the last few weeks in a couple of trades. It's certainly have improved the club as well. So that's and again, you went through it recently or during this year. A little bit of a culture shock, I'm sure, for everybody involved. But at the end of the day, maybe it's the best move for everyone.
Yep.
It's tough.
I agree.
I'd say so.
Now, one of the things Coach Coombs preaches is consistency. Lately, well, that's been an issue. He's told us how he's trying to combat that. Now, with you guys as leaders of this team and players on this team, how in the locker room do you guys go, all right, we just need to, how does that happen? How do you guys fix that? Or do you guys not know, or just play your game? Give me an idea.
I mean, we've been trying to fix it. We've been having team meetings and stuff, trying to get it through kids' heads that they need to get it together, figure out their spot, and do their role. But we're working on it.
I think we just got to take it every game by game, shift by shift, and I think we'll be all right.
Now, you guys obviously aren't getting bored playing the sport,
No.
but is it all right? There's New Jersey again. Up there's Johnstown again. Does that play into it, or is that doesn't matter?
I mean, it's not fun playing the same teams over and over, but it's something we have to deal with, so nothing we can do about it.
Well, we talked about your future, Dean. Andrew, still have some junior eligibility left. What's your future looking like? What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping to go play Division I hockey. I mean, I haven't talked to anybody, but I still got a while to go. So
It's the advantage of being young. You can take
Yeah.
your time with it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to both of you guys on a good season so far. Dean, again, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on your commitment. And both of you guys, best of luck the rest of the way.
thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the upcoming weekend against the Johnstown Tomahawks with Joe Coombs. So stick around as we continue the Aston Rebels Coaches Show.
Exclusive medical provider for the Aston
Thanks,
Rebels.
boys.
Mainline
Hopefully
Health is a regional health system with more than 2,000 board-certified physicians, 5 of Philadelphia's most respected hospitals, and a wide network of patient care locations. Mainline Health, well ahead. P&S Ravioli Company are makers of all-natural fine pasta since 1966. It has been voted Best of Philly and Reader's Choice Award winners. P&S has 5 local locations and is sold in your local supermarket. P&S's featured products include cheese ravioli, spaghetti, cheese cavatelli, jumbo stuffed shells, along with fine sauces to go with your pasta. And P&S ships all of its products in the continental United States. Order online at www.psravioli.com. Visit one of their 5 local locations or your local supermart. P&S Ravioli, better than homemade. Are you hungry? Check out the Aston Pizza Company at 600 Convent Road in Aston for great pizza, cheesesteaks, hoagies, wings, sandwiches, stromboli, calzones, and more. Call 610-558-9292 for delivery or visit astonpizzacompany.com. Citizens Bank delivers a broad range of financial services to over 5 million individuals, companies, not-for-profits, and institutions. Make sure you visit the Aston Giant branch on Concord Road for all of your financial services needs. Since 1984, Delaware Express has offered full-service ground transportation services for business and leisure travel via airport shuttle, town car, motor coach, van, sedan, and limousine. A member of the Go Airport Shuttle Network with more than 100 dedicated drivers supported by professional dispatch, safety, customer service, and maintenance teams. Delaware Express has grown to be the largest and most trusted ground transportation provider in the area. Visit www.delexpress.com for more information. Mainline Health is the exclusive medical provider for the Aston Rebels. Mainline Health is a regional health system with more than 2,000 board-certified physicians, 5 of Philadelphia's most respected hospitals, and a wide network of patient care locations. Mainline Health, well.
Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are live from the IceWorks Pub for the Aston Rebels Coaches Show. Joe, thanks so much for coming on back.
Sure.
Well, we'll start to look forward after a rough weekend last weekend. Another 2-game set against the Johnstown Tomahawks out in Johnstown. Last time you were there, 2 tight games, splitting the weekend. What do you guys need to do to come away with the 4 points this time around?
Well, we got to win the first one first. We can't get 2. We're capable. I surely think it's that time of the year when we did something like this. We need to do something like this. It's surely not the end if we don't. But it's a tough building to win in. It's an older building. Obviously, those of you out there have seen Slapshot. It's the same building. We got new seats, maybe some new lighting.
That's about it.
But that's about it. And so it's a tough place to win. They get I think the Saturday night there, I think they had a couple thousand people in there. So it's not an easy place. But by winning the first one, by going in there and putting our best foot forward and continuing with trying to, we've been reiterating all year long that consistency is a major factor in our play, whether it be good or bad. It just hasn't been there consistently all year, and we got to find that. And if we expect to put a dent in these playoffs, we have to do it well before the playoffs start. So that's our key, is just going in there and having a good game plan and executing and being ready to go.
I guess it really is that simple, and especially when you're heading towards the playoffs, basically a month worth of games left. Is it important? I mean, how important is it to kind of build towards those playoffs and really gear up the quality of play?
I've always looked at it as like the last 10 games. Every team has its shortcomings, or you have some issues. You want to be going into the playoffs on a really positive note, whether it be your everyday process or just making sure that we're in the right place. We've had all year to teach the things that we want to teach and play the way we want to play, and we're still going to make some mistakes, but we need to make sure that that we're firing all cylinders going in there. Not that it can't take a turn, but our consistency level all year long has been our problem. I mean, and I'm surely not saying this as bulletin board material for other teams, but I quite frankly think if we would have played with any consistency, we'd be 10 or 12 points up in the standings instead of looking from 4 behind. And at the end, they're kids, and we're going to try and help them get better. And hopefully our work this year has done that, and that we can start firing all cylinders here with any time now would be great. But surely with, about 8 to go and the rest of it, we really want to be doing the right things and going in, whether you're going on a winning note or, you always want to, but as long as you're doing the right things and guys are under, we're all on the same page, we should be okay.
One advantage I believe this team has over the rest of the division is the 1-2 punch in gold. Again, there are some fine goaltenders in this division right now, but it seems that there's a drop-off between 1 and 2. Right now, I can't even tell you, Micucci or Hansen, who is going to be your 1 or your 2, or if it's ever going to happen. That's got to be a great thing to have with all these back-to-backs that you guys play.
Well, from day one, we wanted to have we wanted to have 2 of them. And from day one, we spoke to them and said, hey, it's going to be, we're just going to rotate in. And there was a stretch there where I played Darian a little bit more. I thought that Trevor wasn't struggling; he was growing. And quite frankly, here of late, we've played Trevor, I think, 4 of the last 6. So Darian's maybe going through a little bit of what Trevor did earlier, and I have no doubt Darian, and they're both wonderful kids, and they're both heck of a goalies. So we'll get there, and whether we continue or we feel like we need to go with one guy, the best part about it is if we go with a guy and he does possibly falter, there's one there, and they're best of friends, and it's a great situation to have, that's for sure.
This time of the year, right before the playoff push, if you compare it to baseball, this is like the dog days of August. Trying to keep guys motivated and pushing forward has to be one of the toughest experiences of a longer season that some of these guys may not be used to.
Well, it's funny you say that, and quite frankly, playing the same teams all the time. We can talk about the dog days of winter all we want, but the dog days of winter plus playing the same 3 teams is just it's been interesting. I really like the X's and O's of hockey, and there's really not any new X's and O's. I know those coaches over there. We know each other really well. We're all friends, and I guess when you play each other 18 times, I sort of thought it might go the other way, not amongst us coaches, but surely amongst the players, and it just sort of seems to be that everybody knows what everybody's doing, and in any particular game, you can win just out of, hey, we know what they're doing, or and we're surely going to throw some wrinkles in there here in the next 6 weeks to change a couple things, nothing too drastic, but we're going to throw a couple wrinkles in there. But it's been an interesting year with just 4 teams in the division, to say the least.
Well, best of luck this weekend. Hopefully come back with 4 points for us. One thing people may not know about you, though, we want to end this on a little bit of a light note, is one thing people may not know about you is back in the 90s, of course, you were playing all over in minor league hockey. But you also spent one summer playing in roller hockey international. We talked about this off air a couple of weeks ago. Played for the Buffalo Wings.
Yes,
up in
I sure
Buffalo.
did.
There was a team here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Long Island Jaws fan for the one team for the 1 year that they existed, but had to be a very cool experience to get paid to play even more in the summer. I mean, I'm not saying the paycheck was huge.
It was one of the best summer job I ever had. We played in every NHL building, flew around the country by airplane, not by bus. It was basically the NHL of
roller
summer
hockey.
sports, of summer jobs, I guess. No, it was a lot of fun. It didn't last as long as I surely wanted it to do. I played the entire one summer, played for Murray Eves, who a wonderful guy, coaches out of Shattuck, one of the all-time leading scorers in the American Hockey League. We had a good group. We had a really good group. We weren't very good. I don't know. We finished, 8 and 16 maybe. But we had fun. And, at that point, that's what it was about. And, it's disappointing to see the league go away. It was more of a TV contract that they thought ESPN needed roller hockey, and they didn't. So it was disappointing, but it was surely a fun summer.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week again after picking up some W's out in Johnstown.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, that'll do it for us. We'll be back next week. Again, you can watch the 2 games on Fast Hockey Friday and Saturday night. I believe they're both 7 o'clock starts at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, PA. Next home game will be a week from Sunday. It'll be a 5 p.m. start against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. Go to AstonRebels.com for all the information and for tickets as well. For everybody here at the IceWorks Pub, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week for the next edition of the Aston Rebels Coaches Show.
Aston Rebels fans.
So I told my wife, I'm not taking out the trash. I'm going to the game.
Loyal and strong.
I told my family to drop the video controllers. We're going to the game.
Even defiant.
I called my boss and told him I was out sick.
Join the rebellion with the excitement and family fun of Aston Rebels Ice Hockey.
He shoots!
Get your tickets now at AstonRebels.com and check us out on Facebook.
Oh, jeez, my boss is here.
Hide me!
Aston Rebels Ice Hockey will make a Rebel fan out of you. Proud members of the North American Hockey League. Go to AstonRebels.com.